Okay, welcome to my presentation on YALSA, which stands for the Young Adult Library Services Association. Just a few quick facts. First, YALSA is a division of the American Library Association, and YALSA was established in 1957 by the American Library Association when the ALA separated the Young Adult Association from the Children's Association. Another fun fact is in the United States, students make 1.3 billion visits to libraries each year. Okay, on to YALSA's mission. The mission is to empower youth services librarians to provide equitable, diverse, and inclusive teen services through professional development, networking, and advocacy. All right, so what does YALSA do? YALSA's goal is to make libraries awesomes for teens. That's it. That's their basic goal. So the first thing that YALSA does is advocate for teens and teen services. YALSA works to inform legislators at the national level about the importance of libraries for teens to help them become productive and engaged citizens. Advocacy and activism is a goal in the association's strategic plan. And a survey that they conducted in 2012 indicated that only 1 in 3 public libraries has a young adult specialist on staff. And recent studies indicate that only 79% of secondary schools employ a school librarian. Ongoing advocacy efforts can help ensure that all teens have access to great libraries. So, if you have a lot of time on your hands, there's several things you can do to advocate for teen library services. Number one, you can give a presentation to your coworkers or colleagues at a library workshop or conference. YALSA has actually created a presentation on advocacy that you can use for your workshop, and it's called Dipping Your Toe in the Advocacy Pool. Another thing you can do to advocate for teen services is to speak up at staff meetings and community events, and you can use YALSA's free advocacy toolkit that you can find on their website. Another way to advocate is to reach out to local government officials to educate them about the great things your library does for teens, and you can also use the free online toolkit that YALSA provides on their website. You could also attend National Library Legislative Day in Washington, D.C. with your state delegation or brief your state delegation on teen services issues and give them YALSA handouts, including talking points and key legislative issues. YALSA also provides many resources for teen services librarians on their website. YALSA publishes blogs, books, journals, weekly e-newsletters to identify trends and promote best practices and identify trends for teen librarians. YALSA also does a ton of research and distributes current teen services research via various efforts, such as the Journal of Research on Libraries and Young Adults. YALSA also provides professional development and training for teen services librarians. They offer a plethora of professional development programs, including a yearly teen services symposium and many e-learning courses. Last but not least, YALSA provides the elusive dollar. They provide actually over $200,000 in grants and awards to libraries for teen summer reading programs, digital media materials, for even hiring teen interns, and so much more. So why focus on teens? Why is it so important to separate them out from the Children's Association, for example? Well, teens are simply not older children. They have reached a developmental stage that requires a different strategic approach in order to effectively understand, connect with, and serve them. In addition, the needs and developmental abilities of younger teens, ages 13 to 15, vary from those of even older teens, ages 16 to 18. YALSA helps libraries increase their outreach to teens and serve them better. Unfortunately, research, including this Alliance for Excellence in Education report, shows that as an age group, teens receive the least amount of funding from the government, foundations, and corporate giving. So it's very important to focus on our teens. All right, the intended impact of YALSA support. To meaningfully address the challenges teens face today, to foster safe spaces, and to put more teens on the path to a successful and fulfilling life. YALSA will support library staff who work for and with teens in the transformation of teen library services, so that libraries reach out and equitably serve all teens in the community, understanding that teens come with a variety of interests and needs and come from a variety of backgrounds, including but not limited to race, gender, identity, sexual orientation, religion, class, and abilities. The library space is at once both physical and virtual. It connects teens to other people, printed materials, technology, and digital content, not limiting teens to a designated teen area, but rather inviting them into the full scope of the library's assets and offerings. Teens co-create, co-evaluate, and co-evolve library programs and activities with library staff and mentors and coaches based on their own passions and interests. And these programs and activities are inclusive of a diversity of teen voices connected to teens' personal work or academic interests across multiple literacies, generate measurable outcomes for teens' skills and knowledge, and are tailored to the community. So that is the intended impact of YALSA. I just found this infographic on YALSA's website. I just thought there was an interesting fact here. According to the 2010 U.S. Census, so it's a little bit dated, there were over 42 million young people between the ages of 10 and 19 in the United States, and there are more public libraries in the U.S. than McDonald's restaurants or Starbucks. In 2012, public libraries spent an average of $3.94 on each teen in their community, which seems like a low number, but it also aligns with the fact I mentioned earlier and how the government funds teen services the least of any age group. Okay, resources. YALSA provides a ton of resources for youth services librarians. They provide national guidelines, competencies, position papers, and benchmarks to aid librarians, library workers, and libraries in better understanding the components of an excellent teen services program. They provide a ton of tools, resources, and handouts to better serve teens, including 2 journals, multiple books, blogs, weekly newsletters, and so forth. And next is membership benefits. There are way too many benefits to list, but just a few are: you can, as a YALSA member, build skills and knowledge to give you a competitive edge over colleagues via free access to live monthly webinars. You can add more value to your library and become indispensable at work via eligibility for more than $200,000 in YALSA grants, scholarships, stipends, and contests. You can stay up to date on the latest trends and resources via free subscriptions to publications like YALSA's award-winning quarterly journal, YALS, and YALSA e-News, the weekly e-newsletter. You can meet new professional contacts that can lead to career opportunities via members you meet and interact with on virtual and face-to-face committees, interest groups, and more. You can make your daily work easier via access to support to help you deal successfully with book challenges, as we know that Book challenges and book banning are popping up quite a bit recently. You can get recognition for your achievements via members-only awards. You can gain leadership skills to take you to the next level via our mentoring program and board fellowship. You can make a difference for teens and librarians via service projects and fundraisers. And you can raise your profile in the library community by blogging for the Hub or the YALSA blog, presenting at a webinar, and so forth. So tons and tons of membership benefits. And from what I've heard, it's only $65 a year to join YALSA. So pretty good deal there. All right, next there is a video here created by YALSA about why teens need libraries. So I'll let you take a look at that on your own time. I will just pause for a moment. It's a pretty short video. And I just want to thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope that you learned something today and that you found it useful.